All right, Detective Sergeant Grote, your name for the record, please.
Detective Sergeant Ken Grote.
All right, if you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
I thank you. You may proceed on the warrant.
On Friday, December 15th, 2023, approximately 10:13 p.m., Wyandotte officers were dispatched to the area of 10th and Oakland in the city of Wyandotte for a traffic accident. The at-fault driver had fled the scene on foot. Officers arrived and located a Buick concern stopped in the roadway with fright passenger side damage.
I'm sorry. Joe, can you please close that door back there? Every time that door is open, I'm only catching every few words. Thank you. All right, continue, please.
It was apparent to officers on scene that the Buick had struck a parked pickup truck. Witnesses stated that the driver of the Buick was a white female wearing black pants, a white undershirt, a black coat, carrying a large purse. The female walked south on 10th from the accident. A video of the female walking away from the accident scene showed officers on scene. At 11:02 hours, Wyandotte officers were dispatched to 2283 10th Street, which was about 2 blocks from the accident, unit number 1 for a stolen vehicle report. Officers arrived and spoke to the defendant, Mrs. Radeback, who stated 2 men she knew the vehicle. Ms. Radeback stated the men stole her keys last week and then took her car that night. It should be noted that Mrs. Radeback was wearing a white undershirt, black pants, and was holding a large purse matching the female that fled the traffic crash. Officers later located the black jacket in a garbage can next to the Radeback's house. Officers were able to identify Radeback from the video as the driver of the vehicle. Ms. Radeback's story changed several times about the car, but continued to say it was stolen. While on scene, officers learned that Mrs. Radeback's 3-year-old daughter was left alone inside the house. Family members forced the back door open, and officers found a 3-year-old inside the house sleeping alone. Family members did take custody of that child.
All right. Upon examination of complaining witness, the court does find that that the offense charge was committed and that there is probable cause to believe the defendant committed the offenses. And Ms. Radeback, your name for the record, please.
Nicole Radeback.
All right, and counsel as to the arraignment, or the arraignment, please.
Your Honor, as the arraignment will wait for more reading, my client stands mute.
Or away the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. Ma'am, you have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yes.
You also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
And the court has already entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. And okay, I think this is going to be December 28th over at the 28th District Court for a probable cause conference, but I'm going to confirm that. Counsel as to bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, my client is gainfully employed. She is not have probation nor is she on parole. I don't believe that she has any conviction. She currently is working at AK Crossings in Southgate. She lives alone. Well, actually, she has 2 children at home, a 3-year-old and a 10-year-old. Judge, I'd be respectfully requesting consideration for a personal bond. Thank you, Judge.
And ma'am, are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
No.
Ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
I'm sorry.
Ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
No.
If you were to be tested, ma'am, what's in your system?
Nothing.
And Detective Sergeant Grote, The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office didn't approve on the, child neglect.
Your Honor, I think they missed a charge or two on that. We'll address that at the PCC.
And there's a 3-year-old child.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and as to bond detective.
Your Honor. Appearance in court, the seriousness of the charge and the lack of the other charge, we'll ask for a $5,000 10% bond.
Ma'am, where is it you work?
RK Crossings.
What is that?
We take the disabled adults out into the community and, I do van runs at the end of the day to drop them off to their homes.
All right, the probable cause conference is going to be January 4th at 8:30 a.m. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office doesn't have anybody, I guess it's closed or off, I don't know. And so, and where is your daughter now?
My, oldest is in school and my youngest is next door at my aunt's house.
How old is your oldest?
She's 10.
And do you have any other pending charges, ma'am? Anywhere in any other court?
I think that I just have one from last weekend. I, was drinking and I got pulled over
And what city was that in?
Wyandotte.
Okay, well, counsel, what I'm going to do then is I might as well just pull that other file and have her arraigned on that one today.
Understood.
The court in this matter is going to order a $5,000 10% bond not to possess, consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. And I'm going to have you just have a seat because we're going to pull up the other one with this from last week. Presuming it's in the system. All right, and we can handle the other one while we're waiting. All right, we are on the record of the matter of the city of Wyandotte versus Daryl Stanley, 232550.
Good morning, Your Honor. Excuse me, good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. This time we've sent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, Mr. Stanley, your name for the record, please.
Daryl Stanley.
All right, and today's as to the arraignment, counsel.
As the arraignment, we waive formal reading. My client stands mute.
We'll send a message on the other one. Yeah. Court will waive the formal reading, enter plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment. Schedule this matter for pre-trial on January 2nd at 10:45 a.m. The notice of prosecuting officials has been filled out and completed. And counsel as to bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, my client indicates he's not on probation or parole. He does work as RAV Construction. He lives with his mother. He has a strong family support system, and he has a 15-year-old daughter that he pays child support. We'd be respectfully requesting leniency for determining the appropriate plea, or excuse me, the appropriate bond. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and the complaining witness in this matter is Sir, who's the complaining witness in this matter? Do you know the complaining witness?
Yes. I believe it's my mother.
You believe it's your mother?
Yeah, I guess she, yeah.
Is that Kimberly Stanley?
Yes,
And do you reside with your mother?
yes,
Your Honor, I spoke with this mother this morning. If I could speak on bond.
Yes, and just for the record, Detective Sergeant Groot.
Yeah, Detective Sergeant Ken Groot. I spoke with Mr. Stanley's mom today. She said he has a severe drinking problem and she's deathly afraid of him and does not want him to return home while this case is pending. She said she has to lock herself in her bedroom when he drinks to stay away from her.
All right, thank you. Do you work, sir? Where is it you work?
yes, Rad Construction. We do a
How
lot
long
of
do you
work
there?
downtown Wyandotte. I've been working there for a few months now. Very good job. We do a lot of work in downtown Wyandotte. We built District 142, the vault in downtown Wyandotte, stuff like that. We're doing the old Wyandotte City Hall. We're gonna be starting McKinley Schools.
All right, you've only been working there a few months?
Yeah,
Yes?
yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so, all right, well, so you haven't been working on those projects. The company
No,
has
the
been.
company has, yeah. I'm,
And so, sir, in the event you post bond, where is it you're going to stay? Because it won't be with your mother.
right, I'm gonna have to stay with my brother, Your Honor.
Which is where?
Lincoln Park.
And do you have any other pending cases, sir?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well, let's see, what happened with your matter in Southgate?
That's resolved.
Okay, great, how was that resolved?
I served time there.
And you just recently served time, let's see, in November of 22, this court sentenced you to 60 days jail. And then you were sentenced to 15 days jail in June. You got out, and then you had another matter in Wyandotte, and the court sentenced you to 45 days jail on that matter. Oh, but there's one pending from October 2nd. Did you have your court date on that one?
Yes, that was resolved too. It was reduced to just a ticket, which I just paid.
Oh, it was just your ticket. Oh,
Yes.
That was the agreement between you and the prosecuting attorney?
Yes,
Well, that proved to be helpful because look where you are now, again, for drinking, again. Or you have a problem with alcohol, and now it's alleged that you've assaulted your mother.
that's, if
And
I
then
may
she's
speak,
so afraid of you, she has to lock herself in her room.
if I may
What's that,
speak,
sir?
Your Honor. If I may speak, Your Honor. I didn't even know that she said that. That was all a complete.
Sir, I would
fabrication.
advise you not to discuss the nature of the case. Anything you say can and will be used against you. This is not the appropriate venue.
All right, thank you.
All right, the court's going to order a $7,500 10% bond. Please listen very carefully, sir, to these bond conditions, of which you will get a copy of. So I don't want you to come back later saying that you have no idea what your bond conditions are. You're not to have any contact with the complaining witness. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. I'm not really concerned that it's the holidays or not, sir. You're not having contact with your mother. You're not to enter the premises at the home on Cora Street, with the exception of one visit to obtain your personal belongings, so long as you're accompanied by a police officer. So what that means is that you go to the police department, in the event you posted bond, you go to the police department, and then they will go with you. You don't go to the home and then call the police. Do you understand that process, sir?
Understand, Your Honor.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You're not to have access to any firearms and or any weapons. Do you own any of those, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have access to any of those?
No, Your Honor.
You're also to have an alcohol and a GPS tether. House arrest, you may work with proof shown. All right, thank you. We'll see you back on January 2nd.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And then counsel, as it relates to Ms. Radeback, there is a matter that occurred, but we don't yet have the paperwork from the police department. So we can't proceed with arranging around that one.
Understood.
Okay. So Detective Sergeant Grow, right? I think I ordered a 5,000 10% bond not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs on that one. So I think
That's correct. All set then, Your Honor?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, have a good day. Okay, and so let's handle, you ready on Tiffany Thompson?
I am, Your Honor.
We're on the record in the matter of the City of Wine Evers, Tiffany Thompson, 23935. And appearance, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke. Excuse me, good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Okay. And Ms. Thompson?
Tiffany Thompson.
All right, thank you. And today is the date scheduled for sentencing on your client's plea to retail fraud. And counsel, do you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with your client?
Your Honor, it's factually accurate.
All right. And ma'am, it says that you're currently unemployed. You've been unemployed since 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, how are you supporting yourself?
I'm living with my parents right now, and I'm currently going to interviews to get a new job. I was having some illnesses and mental health stuff that kept me out of work for a little bit.
Okay, and you have an expired medical marijuana card, and you use marijuana once a week.
I would say less than that. I don't really use it too much anymore since I'm not working.
Okay, and in what form do you use it?
I've probably smoked out of friends within a couple weeks ago, but
Okay, well, one, ma'am, this court ordered you not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. So that would be a bond violation. And two, if you have asthma, I don't know that smoking would be the best for you, right?
yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I must have been confused by that because of the recreational thing. I forgot that I would have to get that renewed. So I can, going forward, I won't use it anymore.
Well, ma'am, you weren't supposed to be using it while out on bond either. And so,
Okay, my apologies. I understand.
okay, and so counsel, as to the recommendation,
Your Honor, the recommendations do seem appropriate. I'd ask they be adopted to 9 months with terms, conditions, as well as her consideration for 771.1. I'd ask for her testing to establish a baseline. Obviously, there's been a violation. There's not going to be a necessity for any hearing in which we would contest that, but I would ask that a base level be established that would reflect that she has stopped using marijuana unless otherwise authorized by this court. Thank you, Judge.
all right, and any objection to the restitution amount of $68?
No objection.
And, and ma'am, you didn't return the necklace, correct?
No, I was never told to pay or return anything, so I haven't done anything.
I was just confirming that. All right, because you do have the necklace, right?
No.
And Judge, we're able to lay a foundation. Obviously, the necklace is not being returned, but the amount is not in contention, and we do stipulate to the restitution.
All right, the court does find that you're eligible under 771. The court also will find that there's reasonable grounds to depart from MCL 769.5 after hearing from counsel, hearing from Ms. Thompson, reviewing the report, the recommendation. And the court's going to order 9 months probation. You are eligible for early discharge. And this court will go over that in just a few moments. You're not to violate any criminal law of any of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You are to report truthfully to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require, in person, writing, or virtually. You're notified your probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You're not to use any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed to be subjected to random testing. The rehabilitative goal for that condition, so this court can monitor your progress in maintaining absence and sobriety. You are to participate in economic crime class. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is so you can learn skills which may help you eliminate behaviors that are associated with economic crimes, hopefully preventing this matter from happening again in the future. You're not to return to Glowfish Studios. You're to pay restitution in the amount of $68. Any questions regarding the terms and conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, you in the waiting room?
Yes, Judge, I'm going to be switching devices. I see that this computer is going to be doing it's just going to be doing an upgrade, and so I'm just switching devices.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was you. All right, $300 fine, $100 screening assessment fee, $450 supervision oversight fee, $50 a month and 9 months. And since you're eligible for early discharge, some of that money may not be due. $200 for the cost of prosecution, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50, restitution in the amount of $68. So $1,243. How much money can you pay per month and what day of the month works best, ma'am?
I'm not sure. I'm not working at the moment, so I could maybe do like 50. I didn't know I'd be owing more money than the restitution, so I wasn't aware of that.
Well, yes, ma'am, there's fines and costs that have to be paid. So $50 per month, beginning what? Beginning January?
Yes, yeah, that'll be good. Thank you.
January 26th will be your first payment, ma'am. As I did indicate, you are eligible for early discharge so long as all the following have occurred. You completed half of your original term of probation. All of your probation requirements have been completed. You've had at least 3 months without any violations, and all monies have been either paid in full or you've made a good faith effort toward making full payment. Okay? There you go.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right. Please email into probation. Somebody will be with you shortly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.